Black Cat Lounge is sponsored by Paranormal Oddities, the little store with the big heart. Dragonfly, Art and Soul. Paraniagara, where the real ghosts of Lockport hang out. Wild Raven Candles for those magical times. Queen of Tarts, Metaphysical and Bake Shop. Hey everybody, and welcome back to the re-grand opening of what? The Black Cat Lounge, where the elite meet next to the dumpster transfer station. It's so great that you guys are back here. You know, I've missed being on the air. I really have. And it's funny because, a lot of people, automatically think that this can be a grind. And it can be. Don't get me wrong, it can be. You have to go and be there at same time every week and everything, but I really truly missed it. I got to say hello to everybody in our chat room today. Hey Kenny, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. Colette. Hi Colette, thank you for being here. Laura has been sending me healing all right along. Julie, that you just creative genius. You Melanie, my friend from Rochester, New York. We have Susanna, how are you? We have the amazing Jason, DJ Marble is in the room. The man who has more gear than ghost hunters, I'll just say. The man has got so much. Rick Perry, he's a handsome man. Look at him. Comb your hair. You're just looking beautiful. And Rick is great because every time I turn around, he's on an episode of Death Walker. I love it. Debbie, how are you? Good to see you. Chris Garnett, the man, the myth, the legend, rock star. Rock on, Chris. Rock on. It's so great. It's great to see you. Candace, how are you? So good to see you here. Katie, my little Katie friend. Katie, you're just so adorable. Dan, good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. And Peg, finally, we're back. We're back in action, Peg. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. Hey, I got to thank everybody for all the well wishes and everything. As a lot of you know, I had a cornea transplant in my right eye. Hi, Jenny. How are you? Hey, Jeff. How are you? I had a cornea transplant in my right eye because I'd lost just about all the sight in this eye. And I've had some problems with it over the years. And Anthony, how are you, brother? Good to see you. I had such a problem with it. It was down to almost nothing. And I've got a lot of other problems, of course, with the eye. And Fred, how are you? And amazing. It's amazing. I went and I had when they did the transplant, the worst part about the transplant, and I'm not going to lie to you, is afterwards, because you have to lie basically on your back for 24 hours staring at a point in the ceiling. Nancy put a little piece up there that I could stare at. And of course, you fall asleep. Don't worry about it. But still, it was like they didn't want you to move your eye too much because there was 6 stitches, micro stitches in there to held the transplant piece in place, and with an air bubble. Can you believe it? In my freaking eye. Next day, I went from just about 0 to 2,500, which is like the big, like the big elephant letters when they point on the chart. Hey, Rhonda, how are you? Amy, how are you? Good to see you, Amy. And by like the end of the week, I was like 2,300. I'm right around 2,100 now, and they're actually hoping to it'll get to like between 2080 and 2060. So that's really good, but it's going to take about 6 months. And I'll tell you, the most frustrating part is, of course, you can't shovel. And, we just, here in Buffalo, we just came through that brutal blizzard where so many people lost their lives in it. And so much happened. It was just so bad. Chris, my buddy Chris. Did Nancy put a spirit board on the ceiling? Usually that's the only thing that would keep me down, kid. You know that. uh, but you can I still can't do heavy lifting or anything, but I did get the doctor's approval to do what else? Laundry. I just can't pick up stuff. But it's weird because I get more light in the eye now and I can see, like the keyboard is like blurry to me, but I can make out faces with the eye now. And I'll be driving and I go, man, look, I can read the stop on stop signs. You don't realize how it is. But oh, Laura, that's fantastic. As a matter of fact, I just met a woman whose husband today was a cornea donor, and it was it's amazing. It's just amazing, it's a blessing. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I didn't think it was going to work because I've got a macular pucker in the back of the eye, which means that everything's going to be blurry no matter what. And probably about 30 years ago, I had a problem with the optic drain that had to be rebuilt. And last year, I had my cataract removed and I had a lens implanted and that didn't work. That I got some peripheral vision back, but it really didn't help that much. Kathy from Virgin House. How are you, Kathy? Good to see you. And so it really, I have to say that it's a blessing, and I can't believe the team at Dr. Atwall's eye care. And the transplant is actually is an outpatient surgery, which blows my mind totally. But knock on wood, everything's going good with it, and I can't complain. So I got some sight back, and I'm working on it. I am actually being able. Hey, Stace, how are you? I'm able to work on the next book. I've been typing. It only took me 6 days to write 5 pages, of course, but I'm out of practice. But I haven't been able to read either that well. So, but everything's going good. And all of you guys, again, thank you for like worrying about me, but more importantly, worrying about my little puppy, Winifred. She's 7. She's not a puppy. She's great. Chocolate Lab. She blew out her CCL, which is the knee. And hi, Esther. How are you? Good to see you. Happy New Year. And she blew out her CCL, and she had to have that repaired. So Nancy had 2 invalids on her hands. Me, not being able to do anything for literally 2 to 3 weeks, and Winifred. And hey, Dale, how are you? Good to see you. You are just one good-looking man. I'm just going to tell you, that's my buddy Dale. He's also a podcaster and a show host, and I love him dearly. And we just saw each other at where was it? Old Mill in Dundee, New York, or Dundee, New York, Dundee, Michigan. So he's always great to see. And the man, this is the man right here, Chris Chisla. He is the absolute man. He is Superman. I'm just going to tell you that right now. He's just Superman. But we were able to. Hey, Nicole, how are you? There's my buddy Nicole. Whoops, wrong one. Oh, sorry, it's not wrong one. Sorry, Laura. Nicole is actually she's director of an NPR news affiliate and or news director, and I like to call her Peaches, but we'll go into that from some other day. Laura, how are you? But Winnie is doing so good, it's amazing. The day we went to pick her up, she could already put like pressure on her toes on the side that they had repaired, and I guess they did something to the kneecap so that it was put back in place and everything. And it's amazing. It's just amazing. Now we have to make sure that she doesn't blow the other one out, so that we're talking about taking her for therapy and stuff. But hi, Sarah. How are you? Good to see you, Sarah. Sarah from Dragonfly is on, one of our newest sponsors, by the way. So if you guys were paying attention to the intro, you guys saw Dragonfly. But she's doing great. And now we're talking, I don't know, I think it's like 3.5 weeks into the surgery with her. And Labradors are high-spirited animals. So she's running around, and if she lays too long she lays on that leg. So if she lays too long on it, she's a little stiff. But She is jumping. It's brutal to keep her excuse me, off the bed, and she wants to be with us constantly, and she's trotting around, and she's on leash patrol right now, so she's doing fantastic. So I can't blame it. And I have to give kudos to my long suffering wife, who like, and to my credit, she didn't have to duct tape me to the bed. She didn't have to duct tape me to the bed. I tried to go, hey man, I had to make sure that I listened to everything that my wife said. And I mean, when you're laying in bed for like all that time, I burned out. I mean, literally, the batteries in my in my ear pods just, you know, they just died out. That's how long. That's how many podcasts that I was listening to, and uh, you were only allowed to stand up, or to sit up like maybe less than 10 minutes. That's enough to go to the bathroom and come back. And I tried to stay. And once I could get up, I really tried to stay out of her way. Now all the gloves are off. I do the laundry, but she's got to bring up the baskets, and I make sure that I'm a taskmaster. These things have to have it. But yeah, she did a great job with us. It was pretty stressful for her for a few weeks, but we got through it, and she got through it. So, and especially, and I have to thank my buddy, my buddy. You guys all know Frank Kupka, my weightlifting buddy over there. He When the snows hit, there was no joke here. When the snows hit, guys, those of you in Upper Michigan, you guys, all my friends up there, you guys know what snow is. You guys know how miserable it can be. It hits so hard up there, and then it comes across the Great Lakes, and then we get it. Well, this one was no joke. 40 people perished. Many of them were stuck in cars. It blew in, and it just wiped everything out. Everything came to a standstill. The drifts on one side of my house were close to, the one drift was close to 11 feet on the side of the house. And of course, the other side was great because the way the wind swirled, it opened up a path for little Winnie to go. We couldn't get out our back door for like almost over a week. And my buddy Frank came over. He called me up, and he says, or I got a text from him, and he goes, hey, do you need help? Do you want me to go and clear your drive? And, I hate to ask people, that's the way I am. And it's tough for me to stand there and watch other people do it. And he came over, and Nancy was out there helping him break down this bank. Hey, Rosa, I'm fanboying over Rosa. Hi, Rosa Nell. She'll be up. Happy birthday in case I don't get a chance to wish it to you and I forget. But she'll be up at Hinsdale House pretty soon, on her little extended vacation up there. But he came out, and he's taller than I am. I'm 6'1". He's taller than I am, and he came up past his chest, and he got me out. I don't understand how he did it, but he and Nancy were just working so hard out there. And I posted some of the pictures too, so you guys got a chance to see them. But that was great. But yeah, so and now of course I'm looking out the window, and it's green grass, and we're supposed to get more snow on the weekend. So it's Buffalo, New York. What are you going to do? It's just the way it is. Mother Nature here is bipolar, and it's not taking its pills properly. That's basically what it is. But hey, I got to tell you what I did today. I got a chance to go and be a part of a project. John Kennedy. Wait a minute. Here it is. This is John Kennedy. He is the living legend from up north. I love this guy. And one of these days, now that I know how to do pre-records with StreamYard, we're bringing him on. He's a wealth of adventures. That's the only way I can say it. A lot of things that he's done. So he's the true legend. Anyway, I went and was part of a project actually at Narden Academy here in Buffalo, New York. And I do have some photos from it. And what was so cool about it was the fact that it's a multi-grade from freshman to senior high school, multi-grade project where they create and write a spooky story about something that revolves around their high school, like a la Carrie almost. And that was phenomenal. Phenomenal idea. And they had me come in today to speak. And then later on the week, they're going to go down to Salamanca, New York, and they're going to take a tour of the Wildwood Sanitarium, which is haunted. And you guys all know that. That place is crazy. And it was just what a phenomenal day it was. And I got a chance to talk paranormal and all the crazy stuff that's happened to me and let them look at the gear. And here's a picture of me and Mr. Coakley right here. Where are we? There we are. He brought me in. He's the guy that asked me to come in for the talk, and it's great because I've seen him at a lot of quite a few other events that I've been at, and I was just so thrilled that he asked me to come in to speak. And here's one of my I love photos with like people that come to see me, and here's the group. Here's a group of young ladies that came in, and I'm going to tell you what this place. These kids were like. There was no whispering. It was amazing. It was amazing. It wasn't like your normal high school hijinks. They listened. It was just really great to be able to speak to them. So we had a great time. But can you imagine being in high school? Can you guys imagine being in high school and that is what you're going to do? That is going to be your work assignment. You're going to go out and you're going to write a story about your high school, but it's a spooky story. And then they bring crazy people like me in to talk about paranormal. And then you get a chance to go to an actual haunted location. Can you believe that in high school? If that had happened to me, my whole world would have been different. Speaking about that, look who's in the room. Hi, Dennis. How are you? I was just telling everybody what a great time it was. So creative. You guys are so creative. It was like so amazing to be able to go and helped out, and it was just great to be a part of it. It really was. It really was. And Dennis, I'm just going to tell you what, you guys must have cattle prods, or they must have something around their necks, because boy, I'll tell you what, they were so good. If that had been anywhere else at any other high school, it would have been bedlam. It was great. It was just great. What a great group. What a phenomenal group. And to be able to go and to go, you guys are going to go to Wildwood. That is great. Hey, look who's here. Miss Sherelle is here. I always call her Miss Sherelle because I always like that, because I always like the Sherelles, by the way. That's just the way it is. Did you take the Ouija boards? No, I didn't take any Ouija boards. I didn't want to listen. I didn't want to press the luck. I never talked to any of them before at the academy, so I didn't want to bring any Ouija boards. Didn't want to freak anybody, but we did touch on a lot of different topics. That's for sure. Next time, gloves are off. I'm taking the Ouija boards. That's all there is to it. I know what we're going to talk about. I know what we're going to talk about now. Let's talk about some of the new objects I have. I have 3 of them here at my desk, and I think they're really cool. I think they're cool. I didn't bring the photograph over of the lady in the wheelchair. Some of you guys have seen it on Facebook. And what I liked about that photo, and it shows a woman in Victorian mourning dress. And she's, I looked at it when it was in it. I won't lie. I bought it off of eBay, and I looked at it, and there was something different about it. And I saw wheels, and what it is, it's a woman in Victorian mourning in an antique, what we would consider an antique wheelchair, and they covered up the back of the wheelchair, but the wheels are still visible, and to take this portrait. And what they would do that for, a lot of the photographers of that time, is they would go and they would try to disguise something that, a disability. I have some post-Civil War photographs where they see, you'll see like a leg brace, a wooden leg brace, where the guy had to walk with it, in order to move around. And they kind of take it off, but it's there, but it's off to the side. So it's really great. Oh, wait a minute, Dennis. Hold on. One of our seniors loved learning about recording voices. She thinks that she told me that. Can you believe it? She was, this is why I love this group. One girl, she goes, well, can you just like do it? I think it's not just audio. I think it was on a video. And she heard what she thinks was her grandfather's voice on there. Can you believe that? She wasn't even trying to catch it. Me, I can sit there for 4 hours and talk in the dark and get nothing. And she caught it just playing around. And that's the way it works. That's exactly the way it works. You never know how or when. I actually got an EVP. One day I'll dig it out. And it was on my old radio show. And it was like a growl. The person was talking and it was like a growl. I'll have to dig that out for you guys because it was just amazing. It was just amazing. It was crazy. Speaking about amazing, Christy London's in town right there. Hi, Christy. How are you? Well, anyway, let me show you what I got here. These are great cards. It's the wonderful Zodiac fortune telling cards. They're Ingles. And look at these. There we are. Look at that. These are from the 40s, 1940s. Are these cool? Are these cool? Look at this. This box. I hate opening everything up. You know how that is because you don't ever want to hope that nothing ever happens to it. But here's the back. Here's the back of the cards themselves. And here's the fortunes. Is that pretty cool? These are nice. I was very, very happy to get these. I like collecting cards. I like collecting a lot of the tools of divination. A lot of these cards are, they didn't make it because, let's face it, they're paper. They're made out of cardboard. They're made out of paper, and they fall apart or they get thrown out or whatever. My little sister Marla Brooks in California. She has, I believe I always call her my little sister, but she has, I believe it's her grandmother's fortune telling deck, which are regular playing cards, and they are just worn. You can see these things. I would love to get my hands on these things. They're absolutely beautiful. They're worn, and they're just a regular playing deck. Because, like, my great great uncle was a card reader, and he just used he'd pull a regular deck playing deck, a card deck out, and he would just be slamming them down, and he would be able to read. And actually, he foretold the death of his daughter in a car crash by accident. But what's neat about Marla's grandmother's is the fact that each card has on the bottom of it's written on there what what these cards mean. That is cool. It's just super cool. And she used to do that, and you can see they're all just worn, and you can some of them, the faces on the cards you can almost can't even read. They're bent and they're just so beat up because of she used them in the 50s and 60s. Absolutely gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And when I go out, I'm always looking for that type of deck. I'm always looking for older decks, and this deck, I have a couple older decks, but this deck just attracted me. Now, I already have him scheduled to come on, Brandon Hodge, and he's a big collector in the writing planchets. The automatic writing planchets, you guys have seen, I've had them on, showed you guys, you put a pencil in there, and it's like a Ouija board planchet, and it just kind of, goes, and it will go start writing and stuff. And welcome. Hello, Dinah Bailey Good. And it'll, he's a collector of original ones. Mine are all reproductions, but he's got original ones. But he told me that there's actually a Ouija board that goes with this. That is awesome. That's crazy awesome. I think that's phenomenal. I'm just like, oh my God, I got so excited when I heard about that. I've got to find it. I don't know how I'm going to find it. I don't know how much it's going to cost, but I want to get the match to this. That's just great. Now, I got to show you something. It's a little weird. Nancy asked me today, why am I collecting this stuff? And I don't know. Maybe I'll take it on a traveling tour or something. I don't know. But back in the 30s and 40s, there's a lot of problems there was a lot of innovations with different ways of preserving things and different ways of trying to make a mother's life easier. And there's a lot of children that died of milk poisoning, where they were given this milk that was laced with formaldehyde. And that killed so many kids. And from the formaldehyde is, yeah, exactly. You have, well, I have a, I don't know if it's a passion, maybe an obsession with the time period. But the formaldehyde was supposed to go and preserve the milk longer. So that was something that happened. But also, there were these devices that would come out in their glass bottles, and they would have a stopper in the top, and then they would have a long rubber tube with a nipple on it. And the baby, it was a little glass thing and little glass bottle, and they would suck it through there. But the problem was the shape of the bottle. It was awful. It was really too hard to clean. You couldn't really get in there to clean it properly, and the actual rubber hose that would come out of it, uh, from what I read in my research, is that they suggested that you only like clean it, and by cleaning it, it's like soaking it in soapy water and blowing some, and pouring some fresh water through it. You really didn't sanitize it or anything. Uh, every 3 weeks, and that was like really where all this botulism bacteria started to grow. So in my collection, I saw this, and I wasn't going to buy it, and I just thought to myself, if I don't get it, I'm going to kick myself. It's one of those things. Bill, how are you, brother? Good to see you. Welcome aboard, Commander Bill of the USS Edson, Bay City, Michigan. Haunted. If you guys are out there, check the place out. Well, this is what we're talking about. I don't know if you can, let me bring it back a little bit. This is one of those baby bottles, and you can see the shape of it. You can see you would have to have a special brush to get in there, which a lot of people didn't. And they would just kind of wash it out. And this one actually is more of a modern one because it does have it has a plug on the bottom to kind of swish it out, but a lot of them didn't. And you can see how it's shaped. It's flat here, and then it's shaped up. Well, that's what they would do is they would put it against the baby like this, and then this would come out, and the rubber hose would go connect to the nipple. And this is from, let me see, the Best Nurser, and this was made in the Gotham Company, New York City. And this is what they would call a murder bottle. A murder bottle. This is something that, again, they would use, and it's I don't know how Victorian, because the Victorian age went into like the to the 30s, when the right around the Depression, 20s and 30s. And I believe this was right around the end of it. So to find these is really neat. This is a statement piece, I believe. This is sort of a statement piece. So I just got this in, like the minute the first day that we got mail last week, when we were able to get some kind of mail in here, I got this. This was delivered. So it's pretty neat, isn't it? It's beautiful. It's a beautiful piece. It's a sad piece. We don't have any history. I have no provenance on there. I don't know who owned it. This came out of this came out of a general auction, and when I saw it, I offered them a little bit less than what they asked, and they took it, and I was very, very happy. So this is new to the collection now. And I haven't even posted this on Facebook. That's how new this is. What did you write, Chris? I came in at the wrong time. I thought that was a bong. Chris, you never cease to amaze me. I love Chris. He's great. Oh, but yeah, you're right, Peg. That would have been more of a kill off more aristocratic kids than poor kids because they couldn't afford that much stuff like this. You're right, because these bottles would have been expensive. They would have used, they would have just used cups or whatever. But yeah, but for the formaldehyde, there's actually sections. There's a cemetery up here in Western New York that has a section that was I believe it was, I don't know if it was an orphanage or what, I don't know if it was a children's hospital. I'm not quite sure. I don't have all the history. I'm going to go out um, either this week or next week, depending on the weather, to do a little bit more research and boots on the ground where it is, where children were buried that died of the formaldehyde milk that they used, the poisoned milk that was given to them. So we're gonna go and we'll get there. Hey Nicole, how are you? Yes, I am retired. You guys just take a look and you'll see my feet. So, but yeah, so I'll be up there. But here's the coup de grace. I have to show you this. This is an amazing piece. You guys know that I'm really into the hair art, Victorian hair art, and I've got some smaller, nice pieces. But uh, my friend Amanda Walmer told me about this, and she's got a phenomenal collection. And you guys, she'll be having a tour and a talk in Western New York too, along with but myself will be, you know, friendly rivals. No, we're not rivals at all. She's great at what she does, and well, she told me about it, and I wasn't going to pay the price because you guys know how cheap I am. But let me just show you this. This is all hair. It's look at that. Is that? Let me see. Can you guys see this? I'm going to bring it in closer. I'm trying not to get the reflection, but that's all human hair. It's a 13-inch oval. And if you guys look, you can see like little, can you see like, where is it? Right here and back here. You see that those are little pieces, and there's some little pieces of paper. Those are notes. Those are actually, I looked at it. I'm not taking this apart to check it out. Those are actually notes, and that have the names of people whose that hair belonged to. I've never, ever, ever, ever seen that before. Let's see. Everything's sort of backwards when I'm working here. So, but look at this. Now, and when it came in, let me show you this. This is how deep it is. This isn't just a frame because it's got a flat. It doesn't have it doesn't have a uh, convex. Well, I forget whatever it is. It doesn't have the rounded glass in it, but it's more of a shadow box. See how far back this goes? This is this is just an this is a once in a lifetime piece for me. Yeah, it was a little costly. I had actually had my eye on a new piece of paranormal gear that was gonna be a treat to myself. A happy New Year to myself. But this was this came up, and I had to buy it. I had to. I had to bid on it, and actually, it's nice because sometimes if you get a hold of the bidder and you ask a little, you just kind of like bid a little bit less, and say that you're a collector. They're really good about it. No, they'll give you that break. But this is one of those pieces that, hey Annie, how are you? There's the wonderful Anne. Anne is in the room today. Uh, that you really, oh, okay, convex bows out, right? So it doesn't have the convex window or glass in it like my other ones, the smaller ones that you guys saw. But that is just like I say, this is just an amazing piece. I'll just bring it up a little bit more. And it's amazing because it's not flower work. There's no flower. It's all human hair. It's 100. It's all human hair in there. And I did a box opening too, which was fun to do. But that's a beautiful piece. These are in the back. Let me show you. Let me show you how the back is sealed up. This is a wooden drum. This is a wooden drum, and then there is a special like cloth that's glued to it. Can you see that? Can you see this? This is a special cloth that's glued to it to seal it up. It's amazing. The workmanship is par none. And I keep looking. I really inspected it, and I took a magnifying glass to it. I was looking for a maker, and there's no maker. And I mean, these would have been sent out. This would not have been home industry. This would have been something that had been sent out to, hey Joanna, that was all this hair would have been sent to someone who was a specialist at it, and like an artist or whatever, and they would have created that. So that's an amazing. Can I see any of the names, Bill? Yes. They're written in pencil, so it's hard to make it out, and I don't want to take it apart. But it looks like one of the names looks like Margaret. So we don't know. We don't know. It's a mystery, and I think that's the fun of what we do is a mystery. I have a few things on here that I think I've hit everything that we were going to talk about up front, and so I was figuring what we would do tonight is let me tell you guys a little bit about upcoming shows. I have Jules Nolan on. We're going to talk about vampires. Jules is like one of the most read people that I know on the whole subject of vampires. That's phenomenal. We have Brandon Hodges coming on talking about that. I have a bunch of different people that you guys are going to love. You guys are really going to love it. I'm excited about it. And again, like I said before I took my hiatus and had surgery, I will see you, Miss Christie. Hey, Susanna, how are you? That I would once a month, I would do card pulls for everybody. Okay. I would do that. So I figured tonight we're going to start the new year off with card pulls. You guys, is that all right with you guys? I hope it is, you know? And by the way, have a batty new year. I've been waiting all day. I've been waiting all week to use this. Have a batty new year. I love that. Sorry. Little, you know what? Little things, I'm at that age where little things like just amuse me. Well, okay, let's see what we got here. Let's see. I'm not sure what deck we're going to use. This is a Survivor deck. We're not going to use this one. That's that's specialized there. Let's use the Sacred Rebels Oracle. What do you guys say? Let's work this out. Let's pull this out. Okay. Make sure we get all the cards out because you know who, yours truly, is famous for giving readings without having all the cards. At the end of the night, I'll look and there's a card that's stuck inside. So I saw Colette's name up there first. So let's kind of just work with this. Let me warm this deck up a little bit. Let me just let's mix these cards up a little bit. And Nicole, you're a rebel, all right. Nicole's my friend from I see her. I get a chance to see Nicole once a year up at the Michigan Paracon, and we've stayed in contact for many, many years since I started going up there. And you want to talk about a rebel? Yeah, she's a rebel. She's like me, a rebel in her own minds. That's about the only way we can do it. So okay, we're gonna do a. You know what? Let's not just do a 1 card for New Year's. Let's do a 3 card. Let's do a 3 card. And if I think that we need more, we're gonna need more. I'm gonna have to go and make some room here on my desk because I am totally like just jammed all in here. Because I'm never, I'm just like totally, my brain. I have a man brain today. I keep forgetting things. But anyway, okay, Colette passed. Oh, diving for the light. That just means that you've been illuminated. That by being illuminated, that just means that your interests in spiritual matters have really opened up. And 2022 seems like it was an interesting year for you. It seems as if that you were kind of pushed in that direction a little bit more than you normally would have. And for whatever reason, 2022, they're telling me that it just seems as if there was a couple obstacles that you had to overcome, and you were able to go through it through faith. You're able to go and be able to meet these obstacles and be able to overcome them. And let's talk about present. Let's talk about 2023. Oh, again, she feels she knows. This is the ever growing, your ever growing intuition. It's something that you've been working on for a while, and it's not going to stop. It's ever growing. The problem, I'm going to tell you what the problem is. And Colette, bear with me on this because I've been doing this for a long time. I'm just going to warn you that sometime during this year, this intuition is going to feel like it stops, and that's called plateauing. And every good reader, every good reader, uh, it just happens. It just happens. We all go and it, it just stops. You get to a certain point and you can't do anymore. So I have patience. And what I always tell people is sidestep it. Just sidestep it. Just sidestep it. See what goes on, sidestep it. Because if you sidestep it, then you're learning something else. And the whole idea is it's sort of like when you're giving a reading, a mental mediumship reading, and you're a medium, right? You're a medium and you're getting nothing. There's nothing worse than standing up in front of people in a gallery and you got nothing for somebody. You know you got something for a person, but it's not coming through. So then you start doing a little bit more of a psychic reading, and that jump starts it. That's the same principle. What you want to do is try to learn something else, and then try to it'll reinvigorate itself. And let me just tell you for future. Let's go beyond 2023. Collab Collaborative dreaming. Collaborative dreaming means that things become a little bit more intensive. They say in dreams, the way that you tell if it's a dream or if it's a dream that should be really taken, I would say taken seriously, is if it feels like, let's say you're talking to a relative in the dream and it feels like you're actually talking to them, you're actually there or they're actually with you, that's how you know. And that's something that usually comes about after a certain amount of hard work and research and practice. Practice. My beard is getting crazy. I always look at myself going, "It's vain, I know, but my beard has got a colic in it." And so just be very, be aware of that, because when we start having these very very lucid dreams, that's usually when the key is turned in the door. It's starting, and the door is really starting to creak open. Okay, so just keep that in mind, and that's really good. And have a happy 2023. Okay, Julie, I saw Julie next. See, I can with this eye, I can actually see most of the. I can actually keep up with the chat room for a while. Jack, the man, the myth, the Tig man, the tiger, the meditative man that you want to go to if you want for meditation classes in Western New York. You want to go to Jack Burkhardt. That's the guy to go to. Thank you, Colette. I appreciate the feedback on that. Let's go to Julie. Hi, Julie. Julie is an artist. I want to tell you, Julie, an artist. We shared a phenomenal venue at the Raymond Buckland Museum of Witchcraft and Magic. And her photography, I could only wish to have her eye. Her photography is phenomenal. And we did uh I had some of my old, the old stuff that I have, all the antique photography, the old photographs and stuff, and and she had her photography, and her photography is phenomenal. It's just blown away. So let's look in the past, Julie. Are you ready? I hope so, because let's not go and let's not mince words here. Past. Ooh, it's an obsession. This is uh what you want wants you. This is a card of obsession. This is a card of uh going, and we can be obsessed by anything. And I don't want you to think about it's like obsessed by romance or whatever. We can be obsessed by anything. We can be obsessed by an abstract idea, which is really tough. And this is the way that I'm feeling what's going on. Yeah, and I would collab with you in a heartbeat again. It was really just an honor. Uh, but this is an obsession. This is something that it feels as if you're pushing yourself to be better, far better than what you think you could be. Uh, and of course, I mean, we know that artists are always searching for perfection. They're always looking when they see. as someone who has been a photographer in the past and is an author, I constantly criticize myself because I am obsessed with doing the best that I can for this whatever project we're working on. And this is what it feels like. This really feels like this was like a massive obsession. I'm not sure what. It's not really coming through what it was, but this is like a massive obsession that you've had to go and you've had to deal with. It feels as if it's on the back burner, but I'm going to tell you something about obsessions. Obsessions seem to go and raise their nasty little heads every so often. Just when you think that you got it licked, just when you think that you're perfect on something, obsession comes in, and that's the problem. And it almost becomes a loop whenever you're working on things. You can go and put it back, and you never say good enough, but you can say this is the best that I can do. But with an obsession, that's not in the cards. You've got to go and you've got to keep pushing yourself even further. So yeah, this is something that definitely was obsession. So let's look at 2023. What's going on this year for you? Ha ha! Are you ready for an adventure? Are you ready for an adventure? I hope you are. Pandora's box. Watch out, kid. You've got the adventure coming up. This means because I know you come to Lilydale and you travel and you're doing different things, but get ready for an adventure. Pandora's box this year. Something there is like you guys are. I'm not sure. You guys, it's almost as if you guys are going to go and just like open that door, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, this is great. Oh my God. And you're going to open the door. Just be careful. Just be careful that you don't become over enthusiastic about it. This is a card that also goes with obsession, just to let you know that, Pandora's box is a card of obsession, but this kind of really tells me that there's something else going on. There's something in your life that this is going to, whatever it is, it's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. Now, I don't go with the whole Pandora's myth box. I'm letting the genie out of the bag and the whole thing like that. I'm not into that. I'm looking at the beginning. I am looking at the action, the emotions of it. And I do feel that the emotions of it's going to be something in 2023 is going to just take your breath away. And it's going to be okay, hold on, guys. Behind me up there with the gazoos and all that. Everybody wants to talk. Uh, Basically, what they're telling me is that now I'm laughing because I've got the image of Gazoo in my head. What they're trying to tell me is that this is something that it's almost going to be life changing. It's going to be something that's going to be that important. That's great. I love that. I love that. That's going to be. And let's talk about like the future. Let's go and talk. When I talk about the future, I always talk about like within a year or so. That's what I do. Ooh, spiritually, I know that you're a medium, that you're a reader, that you're an ordained minister. You're highly spiritual. You have a whimsical side, but a very, very serious side. And this is a card of growing. This is a card of spiritual growth. It is in the world, not of the world. This means that this could be anything from physical phenomena, a manifestation and I feel that's strong. This is not just like your normal. Oh, I'm going to get I'm going to pick up another spirit guide or whatever. Not at all. This feels stronger than that. And psychically, it feels a lot stronger than that. It feels as if it's physical manifestation. It's as if you see. It's something you're going to see. Whatever it is, and it's not like a shadow person. Don't get me wrong. The shadow people, everybody sees shadow people. I mean, I get shadow people down here in my office and in the studio and in the collection room. So that's pretty common, but I do feel that this is a physical manifestation. This is looking up and seeing it or the personality. It's not the essence of the personality. It's the personality. It's seeing. So this is something that you can look forward to in the future. And it's real. This is positive. This is great. This is a massive amount of growth. This is huge. This is sort of like, and we talked about plateauing, right? Just a little bit before. Uh, it feels as if you're in that little area right now. It's not stagnant. No, don't get me wrong. It's not stagnant, but it feels like you're there kind of right now, not pushing it. But uh, this is something that seems to be pushing it a little bit more. It seems that this is something that really comes in strong. And again, physical manifestation, physical phenomena, it sees, and I'm getting visual. I'm getting through the eyes, objectively. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting it through the eyes. So be prepared for that. And just as a word, I don't know if you've ever seen spirit in physical form. This is the way it works for me anyway. Oh, look. Did you see that? No, Tim, I didn't see anything. You didn't see that lady standing there? You didn't see that little girl at the bottom of the stairs in Hinsdale, at the Hinsdale house? No, Tim, I didn't. It's always an individual thing. And at first, my brain is like, oh, that's really cool. And then later on, my logical brain kicks in. And then, of course, every movie going back to The Exorcist, let's go in my brain. And then I freak myself out. But it's really, and then, of course, you get back to, the spiritual side and everything kind of calms right down. But that's really cool. Yeah, just go and just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. Julie, you're one of those people that are highly, and again, I know you, through, our gallery, and just be ready for it. Just be ready for it. And you'll find that artistic people really do seem to have the right kind of passion to push themselves to see further. I found that as an instructor, a lot of times you go and you run into different people who will go and they'll be able to go and they'll reach a really great level, but sometimes they lack that passion. There's that passion that they don't get, but get ready for it, because artists seem to have more internal passion. And I think that's what's needed in order to push yourself forward, in order to break through those walls, to push yourself off that plateau. And and even myself, I mean, I can feel that waning, I don't have that passion, that push. It's like I've hit that plateau. I myself am plateauing at this time. And it's really tough. And again, I've been working on a book, the next book, and it's going to be roughly titled Stories I Tell My Friends. And it took me 6 days to write 5 pages. So it's like I'm struggling. So I know it's at that plateau where I don't have that passion to make me sit down and push on it. But you do. Okay. Matt, you haven't seen my feet lately? Tomorrow, I'll put some feet pictures up tomorrow. That's phenomenal. Okay, let me just go back a little bit. Chris, my buddy Chris Cheeslaw, the man, the myth, the legend. Okay, Chris, let's look at your past. Wait a minute, I don't even have to look at your past. You're just one handsome bald guy. Okay, that's all we need. That's all I have to know. There's nothing more that we need to know. And I hope that your house your new home is full of peace, and you guys are nice and warm during the blizzard. Conscious connections. That's in the past. That's you. You've always been a seeker. When I first met you, I pegged you as a seeker. There's some people out there that I don't peg as seekers. They're seekers, they're adventurers, and there are just collectors. And a seeker is always actively seeking, which means they never stop learning. They'll learn healing, quantum healing or Reiki or whatever. And that is that's great, but then they keep going. And that's what I think the idea behind this is. And that's where I find trouble. And I find a lot of trouble with a lot of religions, and a lot of, like, even the spiritualist religions, because they put you in a dogma category. They kind of put you in a box, and then and some of these people will dissuade you from pushing beyond the box. And that's not you. And an adventurer, you're just out for the thrill ride. A lot of people are in like paranormal investigatings for the thrill ride. They all want to poop them. They want to poop their pants at haunted locations. That's basically what they want to do. And then, of course, the collector is somebody who just collects information and does nothing with it. And that's not you. You're always going to work on it. So let's go for 2023. Oh, heaven sent. This is a gift from heaven. There's something that goes on. Again, I don't believe in heaven. Heaven or hell, but this is something from the other side. This is something, if you believe in the, like, whoops. Hey, I kind of look better this way, don't I? This is something that comes from the other side. This is a gift. This is, and I'm not going to say it's an awakening. It doesn't feel like anything cosmic, like a cosmic download or anything. It feels as if there's just somebody on the other side that's going to work to your advantage. They're going to do something. They're going to do something to work for your advantage. 2023 okay, the phrase that comes in is push you into a position. Can't say if it's at work, can't say if outside of work. Puts you into a different position from where you are. I don't feel it's employment. I feel it's something else. But that's what's going on in 2023 for you. That's actually pretty good. You guys are lucky. You guys haven't pulled any really bad cards. Let's go in for future for you. I like 3. See, you know what I like? I like pulling 3 cards. If I just do a 1 card pull, I can probably do past, present, future, or what's going on. But I love doing that. Focus on the light again. This is a card of. This is a card, and this is in the future, of shedding negativity. That's the way it is. Shedding negativity. This is a card of where you would go, and sometimes it's work to share negativity or to shed negativity. It's work to stay positive. And what I love about it is, do you see here? Do you see the sunflower? Sunflower is believe it or not, spiritualism has its own flower. It's like the states have their own flowers. Spiritualism has their own flower. I always laugh at that stuff because it's I always think it's absurd. But the sunflower is the official flower of spiritualism, and it's because basically the little haiku or whatever they call it is, as the sun crosses the sky, so the sunflower will follow it. Because sunflowers follow the sun. That's why they call them that. And if as the sun goes across the sky from morning to night, the flower will follow it. So that is what's really great about it. And that just means that you'll adapt to whatever's going on, and it's going to be tough to stay positive, but you'll be able to do that. The big problem is you know what? I know what you do for a living. You got to surround yourself with the most positive people you possibly can and shed that stuff every day. All that negative, that crazy stuff. But yeah, those are good cards, very good cards, and it's a cards of growth. So I love that. What do we have here? Oh, I saw Nicole. You had asked before. I don't have to scroll up for that. Okay, Peaches, here we go. I don't know why I call you Peaches. I just like the name, I guess. Let's pull a card here. Oh, listening for the truth. Something in your personal life is not meshing properly. Something in your personal life is. It feels as if someone is giving. I hate to go and say it feels work related or some kind of an organizationally related card, something you may belong to. Like a lot of times it's travel clubs or bowling or whatever, but it just feels as if there's something that you're not getting the whole story behind. It feels as if there's something hidden. And now, whatever the situation is, you have to listen for it, and you'll hear it. You'll hear the truth. It's all good. It'll all come to the surface. But for now, you have to listen for it. You have to be vigilant with what's going on around you. Very, very important to hear the truth. Let's see. Oh, softly, softly, tender touch. You know what that means? Be nice to yourself, Nicole. You got to be. Gotta take care of it. This is actually a card of physicality. This is actually a physical card, not a mental card, but more of a physical card, where you really have to go and you have to watch yourself. You have to be careful of what goes on around you. You can't push yourself uh, mentally or physically in like overwhelming actions. This is something that really, this is a card where you have to really watch yourself, but be very, very kind to yourself. Be very kind to pamper yourself. That's the way that works. Pamper yourself. So that's really perfect. It's a great card. And it's just a card that tells you that, maybe it's time for you just to sit back and say, hey, wait a minute, maybe it's time for me just to take a little bit of a break and take care of myself. Colette, good night. It was great to see you. Colette from across the pond was in tonight. I love her so much. She's great. But be careful, Nicole. Watch yourself and pamper yourself. It's time for you to pamper yourself. Get a massage. I haven't had one in over a month and a half, so I'm way overdue. Just letting you know. My buddy Chrissy, I like going to my buddy Chrissy. She takes good care of me. Now, let's go for future. Oh, I like this. This is you. This is Nicole. If I could pick one card that symbolizes you, here you go. Wait a minute. Here you go. Big, bold vision. This is all. When I think of you, Nicole, this is you. This is you pushing yourself. You're sometimes it's funny because you don't think of yourself like that, but sometimes you come across as bigger than life. You really do. I love that. That's something that I always thought was really great about you when we have conversations at the cons and stuff. And you always come across like that. So that's phenomenal. That's a good one. That means that's a positive. That's really a positive, great future. So get through 2023. Pamper yourself. Don't push yourself to that crazy limit because it'll be a little bit more distracting to you, and it'll tax you. It'll tax your energy psychically and physically. So just take it easy with yourself. Pamper yourself a little bit. But the end of the year, next year, big, bold vision. That could be a potato chip commercial. Yes, have these wonderful chips. Big, bold, Nicole. That's what it's going to be. Big and bold, Nicole. Big and bold. I love that. That's pretty good. So yeah, just take it easy. They're all good cards, but take it easy. But listen to what's going on around you. Listen to what's kind of going around. What's happening around you. Some again, spirit keeps. I can't kind of break this connection. Younger woman. I'll just say a younger woman. That's the way. That's the only way I can. I just get the essence of who's trying to say it. Younger woman, and it's just like, yeah, just watch yourself. Just watch yourself. There's more to the story. More to the story, because you're as critical as more critical than a lot of people in certain things, but yet you deep down know that there's something more to the story. Whatever the story is, okay, guys. So, you know, oh, Nicole, thank you. Sending us love, especially my buddy Winnie, my little buddy Winnie. Okay, let me go back here a little bit. I'm going to shoot back a little bit. Oh, Amy. Amy Stalker. Amy. Here you go, Amy. Amy's a friend, an old friend. Oh my God. I hate to say old, Amy. But we go back a couple of years back to Civil War reenacting. I do miss it, Amy. I miss going out. I don't miss sleeping on the ground. And I had an epiphany the other day because I don't drink anymore. But I had an epiphany the other day when I used to sleep in those dog tents outside on the ground. I used to drink. And that's how I realized I used to be able to go to sleep at night when I was out there. Now I couldn't do it. Now if I have a lumpy bunk in one of the huts at the Newfane Civil War Center, I can't sleep at night. Well, anyway, let's look at your past. Let's look at the past. Against the grain. Against the grain. That usually means that there's some things that you fought against in order to become yourself and who you are right now. And sometimes people did not give you the what's the word? There's a proper word for it. Didn't give you the credit. They didn't think that you were going to push whatever you did. And by the way, I've heard her sing. She's got a great voice. She's a phenomenal voice. But they didn't give you credit for something. They didn't think that you were going to be able to go and accomplish what you have accomplished. And that's a great thing, going against the grain, because sometimes people will go and tell you that, you can't, or you shouldn't, or what's wrong with you? Why are you doing? And the question is that you have to ask is not why, but why not? Why? What's going to happen to me if I push a little bit harder? What's going to happen to me to be who I am and what I'm doing? And it really, that's a great card, because in the past it seems as if you pushed yourself in to break out of something like a box, break out of a shell, and that's a great card. Now let's go into what's 2023. Again, break out, going beyond the normal, this just means that you're going to continue to do that. That to me is phenomenal. You're going to continue to push yourself. You're going to continue that, whatever it is, it's growth. It's okay, guys, slow down, because all of a sudden it's like 1,001 like quotes coming into my head, like it just means that you're just going to continue to grow. You're going to continue to. It feels like it's more education. It feels like there's more education to do something. You're going to be something else. You're one thing now, and it's going to be something else, something better. And it's through some kind of education or training or vocational training, something of that nature that's coming up. And again, I feel that you already know about it, or you are already associated with how it's going to be, or to get it. So I think that's a great card. So that's 2023. Well, let's look at the future, kiddo. Let's look at the future past 2023 for you. Again, how can you? It's so rare to get 3 cards that are that alike. Be the hunter, not the hunted. Do it for yourself. Push yourself. Don't listen to anybody else, because only you will be able to go and push yourself beyond your, I won't say self limitations, self-created limitations. I will say limitations that were created by other people and told to you over and over and over again. That is where you are. That is what you should be doing. That is how you should be treating your life. That means that you never stop. You just keep working. That's phenomenal. I mean, that's a good reading there. Wow, I wish I had that reading. I pulled a couple cards for myself, and just you know what my card said to me? Ease up on the hot dog sauce. That's what it said to me. Ease up in the hot dog sauce and stop eating refried beans. That's what the card said to me. No, I'm just kidding. Hold on. What do we got here? Let me go back. Lori, are you still in the room? Just let me know if you're still in the room, Lori. I'm trying to see who's here, who's still in. Going back. Who do we got here? Oh, Chris, you still in the room? Oh, there's Lori. Hi, Lori. Okay. Did you I don't know if you had a question or what was going on. I'm gonna do 2 more. I'm gonna do Chris, and I'm doing Lori, and I'm gonna do Chris after that, because I don't want to keep you guys all night. Okay, Lori, let's pull this card. This is a pass card for you. Oh, Shock of the New. I like this card. That means basically there's something that happened to you that really shocked you into a new reality. It's sort of like, and then I don't feel this is so much spiritual. I feel this is more in this plane, more of what we would consider reality. I feel like it was a slap in the face. I feel like somebody slapped you in the face. It was something disrespectful. Okay, hold on. Let's yeah, it feels like it's disrespectful. Something was disrespectful. Somebody disrespected you. That's okay. That's the way that comes through. Somebody disrespected you, and it was a shock. It was more of a shock. And I feel that it was positive. It was whatever happened. Here's the thing, Lori. When Spirit decides that you have to move on or you have to do something, it will make your life miserable until you do it. Quick story. My when I was a member of a local church, and I loved that church. I loved it with all my heart. I was so involved with it. My wife was involved. Nancy was involved with it, and it got to the point where they had a problem with me. Imagine that, somebody having a problem with me. But a lot of it was ego, a lot of it was jealousy, a lot of it was because I was a seeker, and I wouldn't take their you know what, I accepted their dogma, but I wouldn't allow the dogma to pin me down. So I went and eventually I had to leave the church, and then I went on a series of adventures to where I am now. But as tough as this was, as tough as it was for me, and I felt it was I was greatly disrespected, and I didn't want to do this, but Spirit pushed me out of that place, because if I had stayed in there, I would not have grown. I would not have had these experiences. I would not have met the people I've met. I would not have been able to go and do what I'm doing right now. So this is something that's very, very, very important. This was something that happened to you that pushed you, and it's on a reality level, here. So it's a good card, but it's a painful card. So let's go and let's check out for let's see for 2023. Okay, let's go. And Laura, hold on. The deck that I'm using is, there we go, the Sacred Rebels Oracle deck. So let's go into 2023 for you, Lori. Power of attraction. You've been surrounding yourself with the right people, and it's become a success for you. This is because you have surrounded yourself with the right people. You've got the right mindset. You manifested correctly, and things are working in the proper direction. It's going where it's supposed to be. And 2023, it comes to fruition. And I think this is a phenomenal positive thing for you, where you only get better with it. That's the way that works. Let's go for the future. Beyond 2023. Let's go beyond that. Oh, this is something that we all need to do. My wife just walked by. She's waving to everybody. She was down in the storeroom. She had to sign things out, just to let you guys know. I go and I stock the pantry. I do the grocery shopping, and if you take anything out, you have to sign it out, and so I know what was taken out, so I can replace it. No, that's not right. I'm not that OCD. Anyway, okay, for the future, Lori. I'm sorry, I digress. Release the dark wound and let love live. There you go. That just means that people who have disrespected you, people who have done you wrong, they matter almost not, because of the successes that you've achieved. That's what that means. The successes that you have achieved. The negative stuff, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, because here's the thing. Anything that's negative that comes towards you, anything that's level towards you, doesn't matter. Why does it matter? It only matters if you allow it to matter. You can't allow it in your head. This just, you know what? When they get nasty, do you know how much negativity that I get leveled at me here in Western New York? If you guys ever found out, you guys would roll your eyes. And a lot of it's jealousy because I've been on TV or whatever. It's you guys know me. I don't really care. It's no big deal. But they all think it's better than what it is. They all think that, all the different things that I'm involved in, I'm, invited to, that I'm, that they're not invited to, or it's like I'm something special or whatever. And, you get a lot of negativity. You get a lot of bad PR and stuff, and it just comes back at you. But you gotta not, you gotta try not to let it go in here. You gotta, and in the future, it's all positive. You gotta let it go, and you gotta love these people. You gotta love these people. And you want to know the reason why I love these people, Lori? Let me tell you why I love these people. Because they push me into change. Change is hard, and it pushes me to revamp my classes. It pushes me to do different talks. It pushes me to do research. It pushes me to get out there and go to all different places that I normally wouldn't go to. It pushes me to meet people. It pushes me to be different. And that's what this card is for. Those who go and try to set you off track, send them love and hasta luego. That's what you got to do. So that's a good one. That's those are good cards for you. Those are good cards for you. Now, last one of the night. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, Chris. I took my karaoke microphone to the class tonight, or to the talk this morning, as an example, because I used to carry. For those of you that don't know, I used a karaoke mic, something that Joe Piari and I have been fooling with. I use that as a to kind of change your voice, and our voices are vibratory anyway, but to try to change our voice to frequency, and so I took it with me. So you guys are all lucky. Actually, my wife is lucky. Because she can't stand it. Anyway, Chris, here we go. Past. I see a little kid with skinny jeans and a rock star haircut. No, we were just talking about that earlier. Defend to the end the worthwhile. That just means that your loyalty is amazing. You are loyal to friends, and when you become a friend with a person, you always stay with it. And you've always been like that, because this is the past. People who have treated you as a friend, and and this is the way it works. If you don't see somebody for a long time and you run into them someplace, it's like you just saw them yesterday. That's how it is. That is so good. This is a great card. So that's the past. Say hello to Brittany for me. Brittany's a sweetie. What she's doing with you, I don't know, but you're an Aussie fan, so that's all right. Christine, how are you, Christine? Let's go for 2023 for you. Follow your own rhythm. I don't even have to tell you this one, because you followed your own drummer for years. When I first met you up at the terminal, when you were a little kid, that's all I could say, because I'm old. I was old then, and you were little then. You're still a punk, but I still love you. You always went to your own drummer. You didn't fall in with the crowd, and you always went your own way, and that's where your success comes in. That is 2023. You're going to continue to do that, and you're going to find that. And I'm feeling that I feel like there's a business opportunity someplace that's coming in for you. There's something. It feels like business. It feels as if it's something other than occupation. It feels as if it's something that is more business oriented, where it's about you in the center of it. It's you in control. Okay? It's you in control. Let's go for your future beyond 2023. You ready? You ready, Chris? You ready? Tim Shaw. I got to put this up. You're going to be my executive assistant. God knows I need somebody to be my executive assistant. Chris, you believe me, I wouldn't let anybody do that job, because it's in a week you would quit. But I would pay you in pizzas that Frank makes. Receiving. This feels as if it's more of a psychic download. This feels as if you're pushing yourself in the future. You're pushing yourself a little bit more psychically, spiritually, and your intuition starts to really blossom out. It feels as if you wanted to go and do readings for people, you could actually do them at that point. It feels as if that in the future, this is just something that will naturally occur within you. And I think it's already started, because I feel what I'm seeing is the world, and I'm seeing a marble. And that just means to me the world is the pinnacle of the psychic ability. And the marble is just the beginning of it. And I do believe it started. So that's all pretty good. We're gonna do one more. We're gonna do a quick one. My friend Christina from the West Coast is on here. Hello, Miss Christine. Christine is one of my favorite people. When Michigan Paracon had their VIP dinners, she was always my date. It was always great because like I didn't have to sit by myself. Oh, hi Amy, how are you? But okay, let's pull a card for you. Let's just pull a single card before we go off the air for Christine. This is 2023. Legacy of Light. That's great. Legacy of Light just means that you're a person that brings a lot of light into every situation, even though you may not feel it. You might be down, you might be feel a little beat up psychically, energetically, but you always put your best face forward. It's one of those that it's not how I feel, it's how I go and interact with you. That is a great card because that tells a lot of people that you are giving, you are patient, you are someone more than the sum of what you feel yourself. You are someone who goes and really allows yourself to be a part, to be a ray of sunshine. Believe it or not, that's the way it feels, like a ray of sunshine coming down. And that is really important, people. I want to go and I want to do one more card because it feels like I have to. There's more to it. Because a lot of times when I pull these cards, hey Denise, how are you? I feel that sometimes what happens is, Dawn, how are you? I feel what happens is that if it's an incomplete message, I have to make sure that I complete the message. Oh, this is it. This is what we want to do. This goes into, it's not a future card. This still is associated right here with 2023, and it's trust yourself. And the reason this card has come up, and what the guys on the other side with the gang on the other side. By the way, the gang on the other side is they're all singing Old Lang Syne. That's what I'm getting when I'm thinking about this coming through to you. They're all singing there. They're all sitting there with their silly hats and they're blowing they're those little crazy crunchy things. Yes, you trust in yourself only up to a point. It's time for you to drop that wall. It's time for you to not question why. And again, I'm going to say this again. This is another, I've said this earlier in the show. It's a question of not why, but why not. Sometimes it's just a little something more. If it feels right, you got to do it. And this is not relationship wise. It doesn't feel relationship wise. Again, I'm getting a lot of reality for 2023. I'm getting a lot of boots on the ground type of readings where these are things that are happening in your present reality, what's going on. So this is something that's a really great card. I have to one more. I'm sorry, guys. Keep you guys up all night. So when I read, the one thing you'll find out when I do readings, forget if you signed up for a certain time, forget it. I'm always late. One more card for you. Inspiration. Again, this is for 2023. Inspiration. There's somebody around you that seems to inspire you. This almost, and I don't want to go into like a Tony Robbins type of guru type guy, but it feels as if there's somebody there that through their actions inspires you to be better, to be more efficient, to be more organized, to reach out, to do that reach out, that or outreach, to do these things, reach out. Dyslexia. That's the way it works in my brain. To do these things. And I do believe that it's time for you to go and work a little bit. You got to face it. You got to face into it. You can't just you can't stand in his shadow I won't say his because it could be a female. You can't stand in this person's shadow. You have to let that divine light of this person shine on you, and this will raise you up a little bit more. You're like an old soul. I'll be honest with you, Christine. You're like one of these. You're just like an old soul to me. Every time when I talk to you, I just laugh because I think to myself, this chick's been around the block a couple times, man. I'm not talking about one life. I'm talking about quite a few lives here, and it's always a ride. Hey, buddy, how you doing? And so allow somebody to be your inspiration. Allow it. Don't be a follower. You know what I mean by follower. Don't join a cult. Shave your head, Christine. Please don't. You're going to end up looking like me, and we'll be selling incense at the airport, singing Hare Krishna or something. Which are nice. Most of them are very nice people, but we don't want to do we don't want to do the cult thing. But just go and let this person, whoever it is, just be sort of an inspiration to you, and just take what's good and take what you can really find and what you can work with it. So that's really those are all great cards. Well, guys, I gotta thank you again. Thank you everybody for all the well wishes for that when I had my eye surgery and Winnie's, Winnie's knee surgery, her leg surgery. It meant a lot to me, especially in those first 2 weeks when I couldn't do anything. And just to let you guys know, we're going to do this once a month. We're going to do card pulls once a month, and we're going to. I've got some great guests that I'm lining up for us, and we're gonna have just fun. We're just gonna have fun. It's something that I enjoy. It's something. Oh! I forgot to tell you. And what I'm gonna do is, uh, yes, I do use. I do actually strip off the audio of our show here of the Black Cat Lounge, and then I send it up to Spotify. But what we're gonna do is I'm gonna just start occasionally. Why? Because I'm retired. I have no time. When you retire, you have no time. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and launch a audio, just a plain 100% audio podcast. I'm going to talk about some of the places I've been, some of the adventures, and some of the craziness that I've seen. And it's just something that's just fun to do. And I've had a lot of people respond that it's a lot more. It's easier for them to go and listen to the shows rather than to sit down and watch the shows. So that is something that I'm going to be working on. As a matter of fact, I just started all my notes and everything that uh, I'm going to be working on for the future. And I'm going to probably talk about some things that I'm working on for the book. And just to let you guys know, hey Sue, how are you? Just let you guys know that the one chapter I just finished writing involves a murder from the local murder from the 1930s, Native American witchcraft, a Ouija board, and a trial that ensues afterwards. And it it was a bear to condense 2 years of 2 years of a trial and all this stuff that happened into about 5-6 pages. But it's amazing, and I mean it even opened up my eyes, and I learned so much more about what happened and the case and what was going on. So look forward for that, and we're going to talk a little bit more also about urban legends and things that I've been investigating. And again, I'll be out there. I've got Big Frank and I have got 2 places already pegged down that we're going to go visit. And I say by visit meaning investigate. And we're gonna go and we're gonna see where the winds blow us. So anyway, guys, until next time, be safe, be happy. Those of you that are in the snow belts, guys, stay warm. Uh, Denise, come on now. Denise is my adventure partner. I love Denise because I live vicariously a lot through Denise because Denise goes to all these adventures and she goes to all these places and posts pictures. I'm going, oh man, good for you. This is great stuff that you show me. Because you know me. I mean, if it's shiny, I have to stop the car and look at it. But anyway, be safe, be happy, be blessed. And I'll see you guys next week. And why? Because you guys are like the coolest of cool, hanging out at the Black Cat Lounge where elite meet next to the dumpster transfer station. So, guys, see you soon. Be good. And if you have any ideas for people to be on the show or topics or whatever, let me know and I'll do my best to try to get people on for 2023. Ciao, babies. Be be beyond good. Be stupendous. Be stupendous. Bye.